We're excited to have Bob Henriquez with the Hillsborough County Property Appraiser's office on today. A lot of our show today is going to gear around property taxes. So if you're someone that's got property tax related questions, concerns about your exemptions, your assessments, things like that, we're going to talk a lot about that today. Arnie and David Diaz with us as well from Waterstone Mortgage, and we're going to talk about how property taxes relates to your qualification of a mortgage, your debt to income, and all those different things. So I want to start off with you, Bob, right out of the gate. Obviously got a lot of exemption deadlines coming up for people out there within the next few weeks to pay attention to.
Absolutely, and by the way, I might have chased Kevin Kiermaier as well.
Oh, you might have? Okay. Well, you and Arnie could tackle him. So.
That's right.
He's actually, you know, what was amazing to me, and you always hear this about professional athletes in Tampa Bay, every single one of them was super humble. They were nice. You didn't see any egos. All the hockey players, all the baseball players, I mean, these guys are super famous, and you always hear, you know, all athletes are this or that. Man, they were just, I was so impressed with how nice all of them were.
Well, you know, we always talk about Tampa being a big little town, and
that's exactly it. Yeah.
And having access to sort of our sports heroes in this town is special. If you're, you know, Arnie knows he's been in, you know, big towns and what have you, where you just don't see those guys. And
yeah.
Around here, I mean, you know, you can be at Starbucks and be sitting next to Derek Jeter, and
yeah, we were at Ruth's Chris last week, and Alex Rodriguez walked in.
There you go.
Know, and that's kind of the, like you said, the neat part about that we have here in Tampa Bay. So, so some exemptions coming up. You know, tell us a little bit more about that.
Well, we just passed the March 1st deadline for Homestead Exemption and some others. The thing that I'd like to make sure that the listeners understand is that those deadlines, we can take late filed exemptions and process those. So it's important that folks know that, get with our office and make sure that they qualify to do that. But it was interesting. I happened at the Plant City Strawberry Festival Parade the other day. I happened to meet the new CEO for Tampa Electric Company, for TECO, and we were chatting back and forth, and he just moved here from Canada, and I said, well, did you buy a house? And he said, yes. And I said, what did you homestead? He's like, oh, you know, by the time I got my license changed and everything, I had missed that March 1st deadline, and I was able to inform him that we could still
that's awesome.
Do that. In fact, he was trying to get his license tag, and I took him over to Brendan from the tax collector's office, so we were doing business there at the parade.
That's awesome. You're getting it done right at the you're
exactly.
dipping strawberries and doing business.
That's
at the same
right,
time.
Absolutely.
What are some other important initiatives or things that listeners need to be aware of with, you know, property taxes? You know, what are some important messages that you're getting out right now out of the tax appraiser's office?
Well, a couple of things. You know, we're sort of in the interim time between now and we'll be preparing for trim notices that will be coming out in August. But the thing that I would express to folks now, particularly if they're in the market or if they're selling their home, is because of the fact that the market's been going up over the past few years, that they may well have some portability to take with them in terms of a tax advantage that they've built up in their current home. So make sure that you know that, take advantage of it, and also understand that you have 2 tax years to port that, and we'll probably get a chance to talk about that a little bit more today. But more and more folks are. The market's it's pretty dynamic right now, and so that's important.
Portability, I think, we can kind of knock that out now. I think a lot of people are misinformed or don't understand what it is. So if you wouldn't mind, maybe in layman's terms, for somebody out there that's been in their home a long time, they've got really low property taxes. They want to move up. They want to move up to a more expensive home. Explain how that works for our listeners so they understand the benefit.
Well, I think it's probably, to answer the question in a couple different manners. First off, for folks that are selling homes that are moving to a new home, whether it be that they're upsizing or downsizing, because of the Save Our Homes cap, which caps your taxable value in any given year, could only go up 3% or inflation, whichever is lower, which this past year was 0.7%. What that did is create a gap between your appraised value, the fair market value, best value that we've put on it, and your actual taxable value, depending on how long you've been in the home, assuming that your values continue to go up. And during those 5 years, in 2007 to 11 or so, where values were dropping, you may not have actually accrued any cap. But basically, the difference between your adjusted market value and your taxable value, that's your cap. And a few years ago, originally under Save Our Homes, you couldn't take that with you, but then there was a statute that was passed to allow you to port that or take it with you to your new home. And basically that difference is your cap value. That's your accrued tax advantage. And so if you're moving to a larger home and the difference, your assessed value is $350,000, but your taxable value is $250,000. That $100,000 you can take with you to lower the original taxable value of the new home by $100,000.
That's awesome.
And if it's up, if you're going upwards, it's dollar for dollar up to $500,000.
And a lot of people forget that in the analysis when they're moving up. They forget that benefit.
Can I clarify that? So basically, your taxable value and the sales price of your home, so if you have to sell your current home that has the homestead exemption to portability.
Right. You would have to abandon your current homestead.
Abandon. So you could rent it out.
You could rent it out, right? But you'd have to make sure to take the homestead off of it.
You have to take the homestead off of it and put it on your new home.
And so
you have 2 tax years, so not 2 calendar years to take that advantage with you.
So you're saying the portability issue is, or the benefit is that you take the difference between the tax assessed value and the market value and take it with you?
It would be the taxable value and your market value, or just market value, as we've assessed.
Okay. So if you're renting the house, how do you assess the market value?
But we still have a value on it.
Yeah. There'd still be an assessment
Right.
Okay.
Tax purchase office,
Right.
yeah. So it's not like your appraisal value; it's their assessed value.
Your assessed value,
correct?
And you're taking that amount.
Let's say that
Just give us a real live example.
Okay. So let's say I own your home, and I know you're very well off, but let's say.
There you go. The NFL legend over top five offensive lineman ever.
Yeah, it's all about perception. It's all about perception.
We got a legend in here.
Yeah.
We actually got a couple of football legends in here.
Well, he's got more scars than me, so. But let's say that the home that you've been living in your home for a period of time.
Yeah.
So say 15 or 20 years, and over the course of time, your home value obviously has continued to go up, and because of the Save Our Homes cap, originally whenever you started with the home, your taxable value and your just value were the same. Okay, so when you moved in, we had it at $250,000, and basically you start at the same. But as time goes on, let's say that your home continues to rise in terms of your just value. So when you moved in, it was worth $250,000. Now it's worth $350,000 over the course of time. Well, in any given year, your taxable value, and of course we're taking minus your exemptions, all that stuff, but your taxable value can only go up 3% in any given year, or less than, or CPI, inflation rate, whichever is lower. Which over the past few years has been much lower than 3%. And so at that time, your taxable values has gone up at a lower, obviously much less steeply than your value of your home.
Right.
The difference between those two is your cap value. And so let's say over the course of time, your taxable value is now $250,000 and your just value is $350,000. You have $100,000 in cap that you can take with you. Let's say you sell your home on December, or you abandon your homestead on December 28th of any given year, 2015. You'll have until December 31st of this year to port or to reestablish a homestead. And let's say then you buy a home that's worth $450,000. You can lower your taxable value by $100,000, so that you would start your taxable value at $350,000, and then start again incurring cap from that point. So now it resets the cap, and so you're not going to benefit from the last person's homestead.
Okay.
And I think one of the great benefits is so you move into that higher priced home, and while you normally start paying taxes of that higher priced home, you're keeping the portion of your low tax bill from the prior property.
Right, and that's exactly that was the reason that, because originally Save Our Homes was to address the issue that the values were rising so quickly, particularly seniors and savers were being, quote, taxed out of their homes. So Save Our Homes, but then it came about, but Save Our Homes, it had an unintended consequence that then folks wouldn't want to buy a new home or move away because they had this great tax benefit, and it would reset if they went someplace else. And so it became a problem. So that's where the portability